Hello, today I'm going to be talking about the Reggio Emilia inspired approach. These are our group members, and I am Kenzie Leesberg. First, I want to talk about the founder of the Reggio Emilia approach. He was a teacher and a philosopher named Loris Malaguzzi. He was born in 1920 and died in 1994. Here's one of his famous quotes. Here we see where Reggio Emilia is located in Italy. It's just north of Bologna, and right here we can see a very famous square that's right in the heart of Reggio Emilia. This is the website for Reggio Children, the International Center. It's very interactive and it has lots of activities, networking, and news. The first point I want to make is on the history and the philosophy of the Reggio Emilia approach. Here's another quote. This is the timeline of how the philosophy came to be and how it changed the world. So here at the end of World War II in Italy, we see Malaguzzi's philosophy emerges. In 1963, the established schools were then transferred to the city government thanks to day laborers and the Union of Italian Women. In the late 70s, the Reggio Emilia schools grew to 19 in number, and then the infant toddler centers were included in the municipal system. In the early 80s, the first exhibit was released, and the Swedish educators were so impressed that they prompted to move it to Stockholm. Then in 1994, at the time of his death, the Reggio Children is founded in memory of Malaguzzi and for the infant toddler centers in Reggio Emilia. Here's some information on how Waldorf and Montessori inspired Reggio Emilia. It provides some history on the philosophies, the child development theory and curriculum, and also roles of the teacher with assessment, evaluation, and research. Other important educators like Dewey, Piaget, Vygotsky, and Brunner also helped internalize and expose this philosophy. It's based on these 4 points that children must have some control over their learning, be able to learn through experiences, have a relationship with other children and with the materials, and also have endless ways and opportunities to express themselves. Here's the Reggio Emilia philosophy breakdown. Through emergent curriculum, in-depth projects, and representational development, also collaboration, it becomes a very important aspect. Representational development also has Howard Gardner's concept of multiple intelligences. In-depth projects can last anywhere from a week to a year, and emergent curriculum is derived from talking with children and families. With that collaboration, they are allowed to form a sense of belonging and a sense of self. Here's the North American Reggio Emilia Alliance. I think it's very important to understanding this philosophy since it's based on a strong image of children and how children, adults, education, and life flow from a set of guiding principles and how they all work together. This is their main website, and if we go to the About information, we see all of their information on the Alliance, how it came to be, and their 5 unique principles that help guide what they do. And there's another timeline of information. Here we see the key components of Reggio Emilia. And another quote. What makes Reggio Emilia so unique are these 5 points. That learning is based on children's interests. Teachers and parents are co-learners. The classroom environment is a third teacher. The learning process is documented, and also teachers focus on the many ways children learn. Here we see 3 important special aspects of Reggio Emilia. We have the teacher's role, which is dual, able to be a guide and a resource and learn alongside with the children. Observation and documentation, which is super important. You can go about many ways of doing this, such as photos of children at work and play, and to adjust classroom dynamics based on what you find. Also, the classroom as a third teacher is a way of easily exploring various interests of the child and keeping documentation at eye level so that they are also aware of what's happening. and to create a homey environment. Here we see the 100 languages of children. It's a very important aspect of the Reggio Emilia approach since there's no one clear way that all children learn. Children have many ways of expressing themselves and learning through materials, media, experiences, etc. And here are some examples below, such as light and shadow work, music and dance, 3D constructions, and using recycled materials. Reggio Emilia is not teacher-directed. It believes that children, teachers, and parents are partners. There's even a term called Progetto Zone, which is used to describe the evolution of learning from all of these things working together. There's even a pedagogy of relationships and listening that's built upon reciprocal dialogue and interaction. The National Association for the Education of Young Children has a very resourceful article on the emergent curriculum in relationship-driven learning environments. They go on to talk about creating a flexible, relationship-driven environment and also how to create environments that reflect our values. The bottom line is that children are not a target for instruction. They have 100 languages that need to be explored. Children hold an active role for their share in the learning process, as do teachers and parents during collaboration. Children are capable of acquiring knowledge through their own natural interests, curiosity, and creativity. The third point that I want to make is on the Reggio Emilia-inspired classroom. Here's another quote from the famous Malaguzzi. Here we can see how the classroom techniques work together with organization, documentation, and collaboration.
The Reggio Emilia approach, in a nutshell.
An educational philosophy based on the image of the child and of human beings as possessing strong potentials for development and as a subject of rights who learns and grows in the relationships with others. Developed by a young and inspirational teacher, Loris Malaguzzi. He promoted the idea of children as active participators in their own learning in a unique reciprocal relationship with their teachers. Learning is an active process, not a transmission of pre-packaged knowledge. Rather, the child has 100 languages, meaning children have multiple ways to express themselves. In the Reggio Emilia approach, the educator is considered to be three things: the teacher, the child, and the environment. Teachers are given non-contact time to give them a chance to talk together about the children and to be able to write up their observations and plan what will be offered to the children next. They value and encourage child-initiated activity. They challenge and provoke ideas through open-ended questioning. They respect the child's own ideas. They allow the child to make his own mistakes and learn from them. They closely observe the children to document the child's progress and to judge appropriate moments to intervene. A Reggio school aims to create a welcoming, nurturing, home-like environment that's recognised for its potential to inspire children. It is a place of encounter and connection, interaction and dialogue.
Here's a breakdown of the explanation and construct of the Reggio-inspired classroom culture. We've got environment, theme, and materials all working together. For the environment, just like the video said, it needs to be inviting, captivating, nurturing, and home-like, also using lots and lots of natural lighting. For the theme, we need to use neutral colors and restrict bright ones. A very strong nature theme throughout the classroom with themed learning areas with curriculum-related topics. And as for materials, they need to be easily accessible, uncluttered, inviting, paying attention to detail with little touches, such as rugs and frames.